Sports, technology, and life. I've always been a big sports fan, and even with my very busy schedule, today I still watch maybe one or two games a week. I know some people, at least a few, that they don't have jobs. They just watch sports all day. Like I know a few people that watch maybe 10, 15 hours of sports a day, and they just don't have jobs. They don't, do anything. And obviously that's excessive. I mean, I wanted to focus on a few different topics in this podcast. One is that there's some people that have just given up on the workplace, and by extension, I feel maybe in life. And I'm sure there's always been a component of people that have done that, but they say males especially, less of them are going to college, less of them are staying in the workplace. I don't know why that is, but it's troubling and it's something that we need to look into. I mean, obviously, if women drop out or don't care, that's equally important. So we have to be concerned about everybody. And I want to say a little bit about technology and a little bit about millennials. Now, sometimes millennials get a hard rap because they, not just millennials, but generation, I think it's called X and Z, those two as well. Sometimes the rap on them is that some of them don't have the same effort in the workplace, that they have a little bit of entitlement. The soft skills are not as good because they over-rely on technology. I don't like to get into stereotypes too much because I think that there's always exceptions, and people are people. It's not overly good to be put in categories, obviously, of any type. And also, you want to make sure that nobody is treated unfairly as well. But I do think not just focusing on subgroups, but in general, technology has so many benefits. But one of the downsides perhaps is that as we become over reliant on technology increasingly over time, and each generation more so than the next probably, that we lose the ability sometimes just to really not only relate to each other in person. We do more texting and we do more things of that nature, but also just the ability to do hard things in life because technology makes our lives easier. And I think, every generation says that, this generation is soft and the prior generation was harder. But I think life is getting easier in each successive generation, so I think there's some truth to that. And I think some of the work ethic that we have traditionally had and valued, is softening, and I think that some of that is related to work ethic. Like I do think income inequality is bad. I mean, I do believe in pay for performance and capitalism, and that, if you have an innovative idea, you should be able to make a lot of money if you work really hard. And I do think that different levels of effort and intelligence, could and should pay off. But at the same time, I am against any kind of rigged system or a system where you can work really hard your whole life and still really have nothing to show for it. So I think there's a balance there. But I think, within that, I think that, I don't want to see the value of hard work dissipate or disappear and just feel like, everybody should get something. Like I do, I know it might seem like I'm taking both sides because there is merits to both sides, but I'm trying to be more nuanced than that rather than just taking both sides. So I do believe there might be a role for universal basic income, as automation really ramps up, or some variant of that, and I've had various podcasts about that. But I also believe that, people have more self-esteem and feel better about themselves, and obviously are more productive when they have some kind of work to do. It doesn't even have to necessarily be paid work, but something of value that contributes to other people. I think we become selfish when we just focus on ourselves. I mean, sports is great, but if you spend 10 hours and 12 hours a day watching sports, I mean, it's different if a person has no... is very highly limited in some way, and there's a limit to what they can do, but everybody should be doing what they can do. And when you have a lot of abilities potentially, but you just don't contribute that much, I think that's bad. I'm not saying we should police everything to make sure that everyone's giving 100%, but I do think we should value that and incentivize that in our society. So sports is good, obsessive sports is bad, technology is great. It also has a downside. Thank you.